Hey everyone, welcome back to On the Fence Movie Reviews. I am Adrian, joined by my co-host Rob, and today we're going to be talking about The Black Widow. So, Black Widow stars Scarlett Johansson with the several newcomers to the MCU: Florence Pugh, Rachel Weisz, and David Harbour, among a few other characters in this film as well. But this film takes place right after Civil War and before Endgame and Infinity War, and you have the Sokovia Accord. So now you have Captain America who's on the run, and Scarlett Johansson who's on the run, and she's or Natasha, her character, who's basically on the run, and she's on her own now. She's all by herself, and there's a whole side sort of mission that takes place with her younger sister, played by Florence Pugh, finding out that the Red Room, the very place that taught Black Widow how to become a deadly assassin, is still up and running, even though she thought it was gone. And now they're on a quest to defeat them. And so let's jump right into it. Rob, what were your thoughts on the Black Widow?
Well, Adrian, I'm gonna start off with some negative thoughts, and it's not too negative, but I feel like for me, this movie definitely suffered with everything that happened and it being pushed and pushed and pushed. As far as storyline and all that stuff, it definitely suffered not coming out when it probably should have come out, or when they planned for it to come out, just because you throughout the movie there's no real risk when it comes to Natasha, the Black Widow, because we know she doesn't die in this movie. Being is where this movie is supposed to take place, right after a Civil War. So in that aspect, I will say it was a little bit of a negative thing, because the whole movie I was just like, well, no matter what happens to her, she's not going to die because she's in Endgame. So that right there is kind of I guess it would be the biggest negative thing. Probably the biggest negative thing for me. Another, I would say, kind of negative thing for me is I'm not gonna, Marvel, as far as the cinematic universe, has not so much a reputation, but they sometimes take liberties with characters, and they don't always stick to the comics, and I'm fine with that. Totally okay with that. When it comes to Taskmaster, though, I was really looking forward to seeing Taskmaster, and I was a little underwhelmed as far as not so much what Taskmaster does in this movie, but just I wanted more of Taskmaster. That kind of right there, that when I walked out of there, I was like, I wish I got more of Taskmaster, but it is what it is. But when it comes to the movie itself, I liked it. I really enjoyed it. I thought it was a good time. I hesitate to use the word grounded, because we got a falling them falling
place,
falling place,
spaceship,
and
building.
Natasha like falling out of the sky, jumping from debris. You see that in the trailer. So I don't want to say grounded, but this isn't as cosmic or as epic as an Endgame or an Avengers kind of movie.
It's a little bit smaller scale.
Right. And I do like that. I definitely feel like there are as far as I would say, little taste of, like, I want to say Winter Soldier, as far as the Captain America movie.
Okay. This
is just more like they have a mission. This is more like an organization, and kind of that stuff going on, and very, very similar to what Winter Soldier was. So in that, I'm gonna say I really enjoyed that. It was more, you kind of get Natasha's backstory, which I've been wanting for years and years. This movie should have come out, even if it didn't have to be between, right after Civil War. Natasha, the Black Widow, should have got a movie a long time ago, because I really wanted to. I like the spy stuff, and she's an assassin who can infiltrate different organizations, different governments, and I really like that kind of stuff. Very James Bond-ish, and I would have loved to seen. I would have loved to saw something with Black Widow a long time ago, but I'm glad we got this movie.
Yeah.
I thought it was really good. There's action in this movie. There's there is comedy. Sometimes it lands, sometimes it doesn't. There parts in this movie where I laughed at certain lines, and other times I was just like, okay, well, that's a little, I feel like you're forcing the comedy, but it's a Marvel movie and it's got to be funny. But
Yeah.
overall, I really did enjoy this movie. A couple of gripes that I did have, but I feel like one of those gripes, there's really nothing they could do about it with everything that happened, it being pushed and pushed and pushed back. But in saying that, Adrian, I don't know, what did you think?
I'm gonna say I am still on the fence, pun
Okay.
intended, I guess.
Okay.
I thought I'll say this. It's definitely it's a good film. There's the action sequences and the set pieces are really good. It's really well done, but a lot of what you're saying I agree with as far as it being a little too late. So yeah, the stakes aren't as high because we know she makes it out.
Right.
As far as the other characters, we don't know, but it's kind of an MCU film, so like it's rare that you get a lot of characters that get killed off and stay dead. But you know, for me, I thought it was definitely good, and like I like what you said. It's kind of in the vein of Winter Soldier, where you get that sort of spy thriller espionage sort of thing going on, and we learn about this Red Room organization run by is it Dracoff or something like that,
Yeah,
right,
I think
Rob?
it's Drake off or something.
Played
Along
by
those
Ray
lines.
Winestone. And yeah, and so we learn about that organization, and that's how we kind of learn more about Scarlett Johansson's Natasha character and her beginnings. And actually, that first 20 minutes is actually really, really good and really well done. I think that was almost like my favorite part of the whole film, was because you learn so much about her character and even the psyche of her character, and this world that she's living in that is fake, and she's constantly lived in what is real and what isn't. And I think that tends to tie into some of the main themes of this film is family, and kind of that idea of what does it mean to be a family, what does it mean to, is it just a name, is it a bloodline, is it or is it the people that are around you and that you work with? And so I really like those themes, but again, it was just a little underwhelming, and I think mainly because of the villains in this film. A lot of what you said, Taskmaster, the reveal of Taskmaster and who that person is, and how they're tied to the whole Red Room organization was a little bit underwhelming. I feel like you could have still sort of had that storyline without that character being Taskmaster. And because when you get a character like Taskmaster, one who can really bring it, one who can go toe to toe with your hero, it's a little disappointing because they have like 1.5 scenes together, and that's about it. And I really like what you said. I really would have loved to have seen a little bit more from Taskmaster, but we don't quite get that. But overall, I think it's a good movie, not a great movie. And as far as where it fits in the timeline of all the MCU films, it's kind of middling for me. It's it's just kind of okay. That was nice, but for me, like what you said, it's a little too late, because I think she was a fan favorite almost right from the beginning, from Iron Man 2, where she was first introduced. And they could have given her pretty probably should have given her a film like this with the backstory after probably the first Avengers film, and I think fans would have definitely have gone to go see it and enjoyed it a lot more. I gotta say though, what you mentioned about the comedy, for me it was a little bit much, especially with David Harbour's character. He just kind of seemed to be like a walking joke. Like every scene he was in was basically played for laughs.
Yeah.
And that was a little bit disappointing for me, because I would have liked to have seen him do a little bit more action, a little bit more seriousness from him. You do get a nice scene with him and Florence Pugh, her character, where they kind of have like this sort of father-daughter moment, if you will.
Yeah.
and that was kind of nice. But again, I think one of the favorite things that my favorite thing that I had in this film was the sister relationship
Okay.
between Scarlett Jo and Florence Pugh, because they had really good on screen chemistry, and it really worked really well for me. And I thought, you know what, I could just, if it was just like a buddy, road trip movie of these two, I could watch it all day because they were really good. And I like the way they she even pokes fun at Black Widow's constantly posing and stuff like that, and calls her a poser. That was like some of the best stuff in the film. But overall, I thought it was good, not great. But again, it's an MCU film, so I mean, I don't know, Rob. So what what is your verdict? Are you going to recommend
Well,
the audiences to go see this, get off the fence?
I'm definitely gonna first echo what you said about I want to call her. I think her name in the movie is Yelena and Natasha. Their relationship
Yeah.
is amazing, and that's probably one of the standouts of the entire movie. I would say
Yeah.
that is the standout of the entire movie, is their relationship and them kind of teaming up together and doing going throughout the movie and all the stuff they come across. What I will say is, I'm gonna say definitely get off the fence and check this movie out. Is it just not the timing for it? It would have been better served to come out. Like I said, it would have been better served to come out when it probably should have. Actually, a Black Widow movie, like I said before, it should have come out a long time ago. You said right after an event, the first Avengers. I think that would have been a perfect spot to get us the backstory of Natasha Romanoff, the Black Widow. Didn't happen. We had to wait all this time. But I will say, you should definitely get out the fence and check this movie out, because it is, in my opinion, entertaining. Is it going to be one of the top 10 Marvel movies? Probably not. It had potential. I think a lot of things were coming against it. A lot of things, it was battling through a lot of issues, and just, with everything that happened, I think it had an uphill struggle, just from the very jump. But in saying that, I think it's a good movie. Not great. It's a good movie. It's a Marvel movie. If you like the Marvel movies, if you're a Marvel fan, get off the fence, check this movie out.
Yeah, I'm gonna just agree with what a lot of you said. I will say the same thing. Get off the fence, check this movie out. I mean, especially if you're an MCU fan, I think you'll enjoy it. I think you'll like it, maybe even more than myself. Like I said, I'm not saying it's a terrible film. I think it's good. I just don't think it's a great film. And again, the fact that it came out so late, it is a little bit disappointing. But I will mention too, there is a post-credit scene,
Yes.
and which involves Florence Pugh's character, and I am really excited to see what they do with what they presented in that scene, where they go with that, and how that's going to work out. And I really am interested to see that, because I really enjoyed her character, and I am excited to see what they do with her going forward. But all that being said, what do you guys think of Black Widow? Or no, I keep saying the Black Widow. It's Black Widow.
Just Black Widow.
Yeah. What do you guys think? Why don't you comment down below and let us know what your thoughts are of this film? And also, don't forget to click like, subscribe, and share with all of your friends. And follow us on Instagram at On the Fence Movie Reviews.
And remember, we will catch you on the fence.